Hello, hello. I'm going to get all my documents ready and then we will start. Okay. Just about ready to go. Just need to find our live. Okay, there we go. All right, 1 second, I'll be ready to go. Okay. All right, so welcome. Well, just about. One more thing I forgot. All right, so welcome to class 2A for new consultant training. I mean it when I say that this is like one of my most favorite classes of all. And I get so excited for you to have this class and to learn this information. And the main reason is because if you can get what we talk about today, and then of course build the other skills too, but this skill that we're going to talk about is literally like the foundation upon which your business will be built. And if you do this well, you are set and you will be able to have a business anywhere at whatever level you want to have it, and just have so much opportunity for yourself through Mary Kay. And so I am excited, and let's get going here. Find my notes. Okay, so last week and the week before, we talked a lot about kind of the body component of getting organized, having some systems in place with paperwork, money management, which are crucial things for the long term of your business. And we talked about how to get that information recorded so you're good to go. And a couple things that we're going to move into now is building knowledge and some crucial skills in more of the mind component of our businesses. So we're going to talk about booking and how to schedule appointments with women. And this skill is literally the number one most important, greatest value, biggest money-making skill you can have. This is where you can greatly increase and control your income. Everything you want in Mary Kay stems from booking. And I am not exaggerating. I am not stretching it. I am serious. How do I know that? Number one, I live it every day. Even 7 years into my business as of today, bookings are the lifeline. They are the future of my business. They're the next relationships. They're the next clients. And yes, I have a history of great clients that I get to take care of, but the growth and the stability of my business comes from the new appointments that I make in my business. The second reason why I know this is I track it for other people. So on average, the women in our unit, when they meet with a woman for a facial or in a party setting, it's going to be an average of between $50 and $100 a face. That's the kind of sales and income that they're going to be able to make. And that's just how it is. And so I love to be able to share that with you, to say, hey, if you have a certain amount of money that you need to make to pay a bill, to cover an expense, to save for something, we can literally break it down to numbers. And we'll track yours so that we know we're on track with it. But I can literally put a plan in your hands for how to conquer the things that you want to conquer financially without being crazy, without being heavy-handed or anything like that. So that's why I get so excited. And when I say booking, what I mean by that is an appointment that you set with a woman or a group of women to put Mary Kay products on their faces. It can be in a Starbucks, it can be at someone's home, it can be, wherever, but it's an agreed time between you and someone else to sit down and do Mary Kay products. There are a lot of ways to build business, but to really be able to plan your income, I would recommend doing it through official appointments with women. And so here's the deal. Sometimes as you go, booking, it can be something that intimidates people because they're like, well, I don't know, people are busy, they have stuff going on, or, you may ask someone in a certain way and they don't respond like you wanted them to, or, it can sometimes get a bad rap. But I'm here to tell you that literally as you learn what I'm going to teach you today on how to book well, how to set that up, just the sky opens up. And women really do enjoy this. This is the heartbeat of what we do. Mary Kay Ash, her entire purpose and point was not to have women peddling products. It was not to have them just pushing product out the door. It was to sit down, presence of women, and to teach them how to use our product and to help them to feel important and feel beautiful. That is the core and the heartbeat of our company from day one to today. It still works, it's still strong, and it's still the most fun and the most rewarding. So I just want to encourage you with that. And so first off, here's the deal. Booking is not selling someone on buying Mary Kay. Booking is not selling someone on holding a party or signing up, not at all. When you book, you are selling them on an appointment with you. That's it. You're selling them on meeting with you to try product. That's it. So remember that as you reach out to people, you don't need to worry about whether they already like Mary Kay or not, whether they want to buy stuff, whether they think they need skincare, or have a passion for makeup. Doesn't matter, not in the slightest. All you need is for them to be willing to let you work with them, to be willing to sit down with you for 45 minutes and let you talk through stuff and have them try things. Anything beyond that, if they are super excited, if they are into this kind of thing, that's a bonus. That is not the point. When you book an appointment, you are booking an appointment. You're setting an appointment, and that's the only commitment that they need. That's the only thing you're looking for, is a woman who's willing to do that. So let's talk about, how do we do that? How do we access this most important skill that is the heartbeat of our company? And that would be in the first document, the PS booking script document. If you could pull up PS booking script, we're going to take a look at this wording and show you kind of how to do it. And in today's world, we can call, we can text, you can even send private Facebook messages. Like, there's a lot of ways to reach out to people. And so what I'm going to show you is a texting or a messaging dialogue, because I find initially as you reach out to these women, these are people that are already in your life. You probably already connect with them, most likely through texting. So if you already, that's how you work with them, continue. If you aren't really texters, you're more of callers, like, no, I usually talk to her on the phone, then call her, talk to her on the phone. So follow whatever is your norm for, communicating. Let me just get my document open here. For some reason, it's not wanting to open, and that's going to make it really hard. Okay, here we go. So take a look at the PowerStart PS booking script. And here is the beginning of that conversation. When I reach out to someone that I know, they are an acquaintance or a really close friend or family member, I'm going to say something like, hey, Alex, I hope you guys are doing well. I have a quick question for you. I just partnered with Mary Kay to teach skincare and color application, and I'm super excited. I need to test out a line of our skincare with 30 women as I get started because I'm, and then you insert the genuine reason why you are doing this. So for me, for the last year, I've told people because I'm earning a truck for my husband, and that is the real deal. They don't need to know all the details. They just know them helping me is helping me earn a truck. I thought of you because it was so fun to meet you at church, and we've run into each other, but we haven't ever gotten to really hang out. Takes about 45 minutes, and it feels amazing. It's free, and you get a gift certificate as a thank you. Would you be willing to help me out with my very first goal? So that is how I would say it, or of course how I would message it. And then they're going to respond. Now I want you to notice something. In the PowerStart booking script, I did not give her every detail of every piece of this. I did not sit and, tell her, all the details and throw everything at her. I kept it very short and simple, because if you overwhelm them with the first message, they read it and they're like, I'll think of, I'll go back with her. And they move on because their brain can't even process all the info. You will explain things. You will give her the details she needs, but the initial request is just, again, can you sell her on an appointment with you? That's it. And so that's the wording there. Next, they respond. So I may be able to. That's one way. And so my response then is, yay, I can work with you actually. So are daytimes, evenings, or Saturdays better for you? I give those three options because that's what I have. I can do a daytime, I can do a potential evening, or a Saturday. And so I offer that and then let them pick. And so she says, depends on the week. This week I have nothing, but next week I'm off Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Okay, great. So next week I could do Wednesday. Wednesday of next week works, sometime after lunch. Okay, how about 2? I can come to you if you like. Then she said 2 works. That would be fine, gave me her address. And then I just thanked her. And we'll talk about that in a minute. So that literally is how simple booking can be. Literally, it is a back and forth conversation. It is not you giving a monologue speech and getting their agreement. It's so not. And so I want to give you a couple keys. So if you want to jot down at the bottom or the top of this sheet, keys to booking. Number 1, conversational approach. It should look like back and forth convo like you see on that document. It shouldn't be you have a message this long and they have a tiny, and then you have a message this long. No, it should be short, quick, back and forth so it's easy to converse. Second thing, be yourself and be personal. Use words and phrases that you use. If you don't say awesome, don't say awesome, say great. If you don't say, hey girl, say hi. Be yourself there and then be very personal. You want to sound like a friend. Don't sound like some strange professional person. Sound like their friend that they know. And use a personal goal. That's the third key, a real goal that you actually care about. To say, I'm trying to get this Mary Kay thing started, or I'm doing Mary Kay and I have to like practice, or I don't know what I'm doing and I need your help. Like, no, that is not compelling. What do you really want to accomplish? Even just this first month. It doesn't have to be massive, it just needs to be real. So, for instance, I've told people, I'm earning a truck for my hubby. You could say, I'm paying for our hotel for our family vacation this summer. Or, I'm saving to send my daughter on a missions trip. Whatever it is, be real and share a genuine goal that you have. So that is the process of conversing with someone to book. And I would recommend that you just try it. Just give it a try. Start connecting with women in your life who you wrote down on that contact list. When you just got your new consultant packet, like the first step was to make a list of contacts. Who do you know? That was so that today, as we started to talk about booking, you would have a list of people ready that you can start reaching out to. And so for those that you talk on the phone, call. For those who are texters, text. If they're Facebook friends, private message. What I would not recommend is posting on their wall or doing a mass text or mass message. Those will be ignored like 99.9% of the time. And that's because it's not personal. They just see, oh, there's a bunch of people. She's just kind of throwing something out at us. It doesn't feel like an actual request. You want them to have a request from you, their friend. It also is much more professional to say, hey, I'd like to work with you, than, hey, anybody I know, I'm desperate. So that's really important. And I'm just going to tell you, I love Facebook, but any bookings that I ever get, again, 99.9% of the time, it was a direct connection I made to a person with a request to meet with me. I didn't say, let me know if you're interested, or, hey, let me know if anybody wants to do it. Like, that is not the way to build successful appointments. You may get a sale that way, and that's great. But again, we're here today talking about how to build a solid business, how to build a business you can control and really create great income. And that's going to come through directly connecting with women and requesting to have an appointment with them. That's the key. So that's the Power Start booking script. And I would recommend that you go ahead and give it a try. Start contacting people, and you may take 5 contacts before you get a yes. So don't be, shy. Don't be, worried. Reach out to a good chunk of people initially, and then you'll have responses to work with. So if you look at this Power Start booking script, I want to make a couple other comments. So notice, at the end of my very first phrase, I said, would you be willing to help me with my very first goal? So I ended with a question, not let me know if you can help me, but would you be willing to help me? She responded, I may be able to. When are you doing it? I respond, first off, with gratitude. Yay! Just something excited. And then I said, I can work with you, but I didn't say, when are you free? Because if you keep it like that, loosey-goosey, like, well, when are you free? You will find that it will take way longer to book things, and people will not respect your time. They'll think she's free anytime. I can just bail and do it again next week. And that's not good. That's not healthy. You are a business owner. Just like a hairstylist or a doctor, your appointment slots are precious. And especially if you work, if you have kids, if you're in school, they are precious. So while you want to convey flexibility, you also need to drive the appointment time. This is you opening yourself up at certain times. So you'll notice I said, I can work with you actually. Are daytimes, evenings, or Saturdays better? I ended with a direct question again. Daytime, evening, Saturday. You may say, I do mine on the weekends. do you need a Saturday or a Sunday? You could say, I do weeknights, if that's all you have. I do weeknights. What weeknights are good for you? So just give her a couple options and ask a question. Once they respond and they tell you of those options what works, then I'll see what I have off of that. So say they said, weekend. Then I'll say, great, I do my appointments on Saturdays. This Saturday, I have Wednesday afternoon. Next Saturday, I can do morning or afternoon. So I'm just going to give them a couple options and then what's best for you. Always ending on a question and then lock in the time with them. And if they start to say, well, let me check my calendar and get back with you, like as much as possible, when you ask direct questions and you ease them through like this, saying, hey, what type of times work for you? And then, okay, well, that time I could do this day. You tend to get a date settled very easily. It's not hard versus when you're like, so when are you free? And they're like, never. Everybody has 45 minutes. It's just helping them figure out when that 45-minute window is. Okay, so that gets you to setting a date and a time and a location. And then the last phrase there is another opportunity that you can have to take that one woman and turn it into a party. Especially with initial friends and family, it's a lot of times they're totally up for that. So the message then says, thank you so much. This is the last part there. Thank you so much for your help. One more thing. You can actually bless 2 or 3 ladies in your life by sharing your $100 facial experience with them on Saturday. Most women think it's more fun that way, and it helps me hit my 30 faces a lot quicker. Are there a couple people who we could invite to join in the fun? And see what they say. If they're like, no problem, coming for you. A lot of times they're open to it. They're like, well, I could check, or, oh yeah, my mom, I said, you're just helping them you're planting that seed, and then you can build it from there, and it can turn into a party instead of just a facial, and that's exciting. So that's the booking script. That's how you're gonna walk through setting those appointments, and you'll have bookings. And I'm telling you, this scripting, obviously, I still use to this day and still love it and depend on it. It is my favorite. So let's move, now that we've talked about booking, let's take a look at the Serve tracking sheet. That was another document that was sent there in the email. The Serve tracking sheet. This sheet is going to be your, what's the word I want? I don't know what word I want. It's like your thing for keeping yourself organized. Again, to this day, 7 years into my business, what I use to run my personal business is this piece of paper each month. I use this piece of paper, and then I keep them from month to month so that I can go back and see and remember who I needed to be talking with or who I was working with. So the Serve tracking sheet is awesome, and I want to explain to you from the very beginning how you use it. If you look at the sheet on the far right-hand side, you'll see where it says make 50 calls and book 10. Make 50 calls and book 10. That section with the bubbles is to write down who you texted or Facebook messaged or called. So you can write her name and the date, and then you can develop your own kind of shorthand for results. So if they say no, you can put an X through it. If they don't respond, you can leave it open. If they say, I'm going on vacation tomorrow, call me back next week, you can make a note. If they book, you can highlight them with bright pink highlighter. Find your way, but be sure that you track the people you're reaching out to. For one reason is it's just helpful so you remember who to go back to, because they say call me back and it leaves our brain and we don't remember to call them back. So that's a place where you can make notes. But also it helps you to see your results. And when you are working and building your business, that's something I need to see. I need to see what kind of results are you getting? How many women are saying yes? How many women are saying no? How many are not responding? That helps us understand what's going on in your business. And so when you may feel frustrated or you may feel confused, I can take a look at it and go, oh, hey, I see something. So really be sure that you start filling in those bubbles. Each time you reach out to someone, fill it in, make a note in your own shorthand, of course, and then that's something we'll be able to work off of as you move forward. Now, that's the bubbles. 50 calls, you'll book at least 10 appointments. When you move over to the left side of the sheet where it says 6 weekly bookings, week 1, week 2, week 3, and week 4, that's where when you actually text someone and they say yes and they set a date, you're going to go over and you're going to write her name on the line of whatever week of the month her date is in. So if she's working with you in the first week of June, you're going to write her in week 1 and put her name. If she's booking for the 4th week, you're going to put her name. So it's just a place where you can keep track of how many bookings do I have. Early on, the number may not mean much, but as you have specific goals and specific targets, remember, we can track your income by your bookings. We can track your income by the number of women you work with, and that's how we're going to strategize for the goals that you have. And so this is really important. So just get in the habit now of just writing their name on the line. What week are they scheduled for? And we'll talk about what to do with the rest of that sheet in future weeks. But that's the serve tracking sheet. So go ahead, print it out, get used to having one each month that you can utilize. All right. So the last thing we're going to talk about is once you have a booking and you've actually got the person scheduled, yay, first of all, that's super exciting, and you have a booking. That means you have business. That means that you are going to get to serve some women. That means you're going to get to learn, and you're going to get to try the product out with women, and most likely you will end up with sales. You'll end up with all kinds of fun opportunities that come because booking's the start. So grab the coaching process. And for some reason, mine don't want to open up the way I need them to. Here we go. Okay. So with coaching process, when I say coaching, I want to just explain why we call it that. You have a booking, you set the date, they're excited. The process of taking them from agreement to the actual time where you're going to meet with them, we call coaching, because you're going to just be drawing her along with you. You're going to be building that relationship. You're going to be keeping her energy high, helping her understand what to do, any needs that there are up until the day that you actually meet with her. So being a coach, a great coach, is helping bring out the best in her along the way. So let's talk about the steps of the coaching process. Step 1 is to go over the hostess packet with her. And I should say, depending on whether you book her one-on-one or you book her to invite friends, there will be a few tweaks, of course. So if you book her and it's just her, and it's like, no, I don't think anyone would want to come at that time or whatever, okay, great. You're going to go and you're going to start at step 3 with a facial where you know nobody's coming. You're going to start the coaching at step 3, and it's going to be pretty simple, nothing too big. If she says, yeah, I'd really like to invite some friends, then we will do step 1 and we'll walk through that process with her. And I'm not going to talk about the hostess packet and the actual coaching of the hostess program today. We're going to cover that next week in depth, so do not worry. But I just wanted to give you, in general, these steps. Step 1 is you're going to go over the hostess packet. You're going to explain to her, if she does have friends, what that means and what that's going to be for her. Once you've done that, step 2 is to send her an invite that she can forward out to some of her friends. So I use the Red Stamp app. I love it. It's free. You have all kinds of cute options, and it's very easy to edit and then save on your phone. And so this is an example of what I do. Let's have a girls' night out. So I'll put that together for her, and I'll text that to her so she can send it out. And then I will also give her a text to send to her friends so they know I'm going to text them. So she's kind of putting the word out. She's getting the ball rolling so that her friends hear from her. They know, oh, she's getting people together, yay, and then I'm going to come in and help down the road. All right, so step 3, after I've sent her the wording and I've sent her the invite, I'm also going to write her a thank you note. I'm just going to give her a personal word that lets her know she matters, and I appreciate her, and I'm grateful that she was willing to help me in my business and that it means something. I want them to know it's not just like, oh, I'm trying to sell Mary Kay. It's like, no, you are a partner with me. Thank you. It means a lot. So I send her a thank you note in the mail, just quick, simple. Step 4 is when you are going to check back in with her the day after you book her to get her guest list. And star this step. You cannot skip this step. If you say, hey, you can have friends, and she's like, okay, that sounds good, and you leave it at that, or you say, hey, who's coming? And just, oh, who's coming? 9 times out of 10, nobody's coming. It'll be you and her. And that's not a waste, but if she's open to getting friends together, if she wants to gather some friends, then for goodness sake, let's make it work. Let's do a good job. And getting the guest list is key, so key. To this day, if I don't have a guest list for a party, I assume I'm going to a facial because I just know after 7 years. So when you coach her through the hostess packet, which we're going to talk about next week, you will explain to her, hey, I'm going to get a list from you tomorrow, and you'll be able to send an invite out to her girlfriends. And you'll let them know that part of the reason you're contacting them is to put together swag bags, goodie bags for everybody, and you're going to be able to customize it based on their skin type and things like that. So that's where you'll get her list of girlfriends from her the next day. I tell them they can take a picture and text it to me. They can forward me contacts in their phone. I don't care how they do it, as long as they just get me that list. And then step 4 is when you actually invite the guests. And so I try to at least be a week or 2 out from the party if possible. And I will reach out to them with this information. And what I typically do is my first attempt, I will text everyone and send out the red stamp invite and the text conversation that you see. And then as I hear back, I'll make notes. And after a few days, if I haven't heard from someone, they haven't responded, then I'll call and leave a voicemail. So they hear my voice and they know I'm not weird, and I am able to sometimes connect with them that way. And then after 2 contacts, if I haven't heard back, I'll go to the hostess and check. Have you heard from Carrie at all? That way I'm not being heavy-handed. I'm not getting all up in her space. But I'll try twice, and that way I can know for sure that I've reached out as much as possible. So let's take a look at this text. Hey Tina, I'm Jess Mitchell. Your friend Cassidy is gathering a few friends for some pampering this Thursday at 6, and I'm the girl bringing all the goodies. It'll be a deep cleansing facial and microdermabrasion treatment, which feels amazing. I'm also putting together a swag bag of goodies for each of you, so let me know if you think you can come or not, and I'll ask you a couple questions so I can customize your bag. So I send that, and I send the red stamp invite. So they see the official invite. It has her address and all of that on there. And then when they respond, sure, I'll try my best, or yeah, I'm coming, or no, I can't. Then I respond with awesome if they are yes, and I ask them 3 quick questions. And these questions are how you'll know how to prepare for each guest. So number 1, is your skin normal, dry, combination, or oily? That way I can set up the tray before she gets there. If she's oily, I can put out the combination to oily skincare. If she's dry, I can put out the dry. So that is just so that you can be ready when everyone gets to the party. The second question, do you prefer makeup or skincare, is for her swag bag. I'll make up skincare swag bags and color swag bags. We'll talk more about swag bags in about, I think, 2 weeks. We'll talk about the details of that, but just I need to know color or skincare. And then 3, if you could change anything about your complexion, what would that be? And I ask that so that I can lock in on something that she would genuinely benefit from. A lot of times what they say is, oh yeah, we're going to use the Miracle Set. It helps with fine lines and wrinkles. So yay, you get to try it. Or, oh, we're going to do microdermabrasion. That really evens out your skin tone and helps with bumpiness and stuff. So you'll love that. So a lot of times I can say, hey, we're going to do something to help you this time? If not, I can say, okay, great. I will definitely pull our under eye corrector, and I'll be sure to show you kind of how that works. It helps a lot with dark circles. So what you're doing with number 3 is just getting a hook for them, where, yeah, they may be coming to support their friend, but now they're also coming for them, for something they want to learn. So I ask those 3 questions, they respond, and then I respond with some kind of info and response to what she shared with me. Let's see. So and then I do also add in the second text there, P.S. Feel free to bring a friend or family member with you. We have a spot for 3 more ladies, and I have an extra gift to anyone who brings an extra with them. Just let me know if so. You can really max out the size of your parties just with that comment. Just saying, hey, if you want to bring someone. And a lot of times you'll add a few more bodies who come, which helps out your hostess. She gets more free, and it helps you. You get to meet new women, and usually, the more, the better the results. So that's something I do always add in. And it's a smart way to just maximize your guest list. So then step 5, along the way, I'm checking in with my hostess. I'm letting her know who to connect with, or who I've connected with, who's coming. Keep encouraging her. I'm not saying, hey, are we on? Hey, are we still good? Hey, I haven't heard from anyone. I'm not saying that. I'm saying, I'm so excited. This is going to be fun. I heard from Jody. She's super sweet. I heard from Hannah today. She's excited. So I'm just being that positive person. And then as it gets closer, I will let her know, hey, I haven't heard back from Rochelle. Do you know whether or not she's planning to come? So we'll have that connection. And I just make sure she knows what to expect. They are going to wash their faces, but they can totally leave their eye makeup on, kind of how it's going to be set up, just making sure she knows. And then step 6 is the day before the party, a final check-in with the hostess. So make sure she knows when you're going to show up at her house, and that you'll have everything with you, and you just need a table and a sink, and those things. So really, the reason we call it coaching is because you are just step by step helping her have a good turnout. If you hand it into her hands and hope for the best, it won't turn out great. And you can take that from me, because that's what I tried in the beginning, and they did not go well. So really, truly, if you follow this process step by step, and just get comfortable with it and try it over and over again, you will find that it really sets you up for success, and it sets her up for a successful party. Nobody wants to book a party and have no one show up. That's embarrassing and awkward, right? So our job is that as we do these steps with them, we're foolproofing it. We're helping her, we're helping us, and we're building a friendship with these guests before we've ever even met them. So that's amazing. So that's the coaching process, and we'll dig into a few more aspects of that next week. But just as an overview, as you do reach out and book women, now you know what to do from there and kind of how to be walking through those steps so that you're ready to go and you can have some great experiences and great bookings. So again, my favorite skill to teach, because this is the lifeline. Booking appointments and helping them hold will be everything. And it will be the way that you build a big business, a successful business, and you make great income. It all comes from that. And like I said, to this day, this is what I do. This is how it is, and it's become something very easy, very natural, but it wasn't in the beginning. It felt weird. So get some practice under your belt this week. Reach out, stretch, send out some messages, and then let me know how it goes. What do you find? How does it go? And be sure to complete voucher 2A before we get back for next week's class, which is just going to build on what we talked about this week in a big way and be a huge help moving forward. So have a good night.